Mardi Gras Day is just chef's kiss. We've been so lucky the last couple years, and it's knocking on the door of Louisiana's coastline by Sunday morning as a Category 4. This moves inland right around 1 o'clock. That's when you see the eye wall intersecting land. So this is more than likely going to be our official landfall. Oh, okay. Well, it's officially time to get out of the Weather Center. Live on Instagram, as you just saw, pretty much the entire roof cave in. So we got a major problem here. I'm going to go ahead and just get into the inner hallway and let management know that that just happened. And 2 to 5 of which will become major hurricanes, meaning Category 3 or higher. When preparing your home before landfall, do not focus on only the category, but instead potential impacts. Velocity basically shows us the wind direction, and we're looking at the green and the red showing opposition on those directions. So that's where you could have some rotation or circulation on the ground here. And we have seen some issues on bridges thus far, some accidents across the area as well. There will be no rain on the Sugar Bowl parade. Closer to midnight as the fleur-de-lis drops, temperatures will fall into the 50s. The forecast for the entire weekend is music to our ears, and guys, the music just kicked off right behind me. Mardi Gras, cold front, cold front, cold front. We are live on Napoleon, staking out our spot, obeying the rules, no tarp, no chair, just our seat on the concrete. This is such a perfect forecast for the start of today's first round at the Zurich Classic. Does the golf cart come with the deal? Tonight kickstarts the preseason for the NFL as a whole. When fans come out here, they're going to have an enhanced experience. Washington traveling with their own DJ, can't beat that. MJ himself, Mr. Brandon Lee, he just shared an incredibly fun fact with me that he and Michael share.
A birthday, yes we do, August 29th, baby.
It's fun to see your friendship here in person because it certainly shines through on stage. And of course, you've got just a little while longer to catch the show before it flies out of town.
Go out and make the news because the news is you.
Oh my word, so cute.
Oh wow, that's where Brooke started.
It's a good time to share my week highlight, which was DMing T-Pain as a result of the DAT chat.
Yeah. And now y'all are best friends. Shades, right? Because it's just so bright outside.
Today is National Sunglasses Day. And up to claim the sun. It's just a vibe. It's a vibe.
The butterflies fly. This is danger because I am not domestic, but you expect me to make something.
Meteorologist Brooke Laizer bundled up, serving as MC.
Yes, one more.
All right, guys. As we head to break, we'll be right back.
Good morning and a happy Friday before Mardi Gras. Certainly one of our favorites of the year, and the time now is 5:42. We are waking up coming off of Muses Thursday with beautiful conditions across the Crescent City Connection. 60 degrees right now in New Orleans proper. Our dew point's not terribly far off, right around 59, and those winds out of the southeast in the single digits, so 6 miles an hour. Here's your beach camera at Beau Rivage. It's pretty quiet, not shaking around a whole lot, and we continue with that casino lit up purple, green, and gold. So not saying purple, green, and gold today by any means. We do have a cold front on the way as you approach the end of the weekend, and we'll talk about those rain chances for potentially Bacchus in just a moment. 60s all afternoon on the way. We're going to see 70s by 10 a.m. That's happening fast. So you're waking up in the 50s across a few spots. We've got these 60s for the morning, and then we'll be right at that upper 60-degree mark as greasing of the poles begins and into the 70s later this afternoon. Somewhere between 74 and 76 as a high. It's going to be gorgeous. You really can't ask for much more, and the cloud cover will help to keep us a little bit cooler as well. So a lot of people, of course, headed out to the French Quarter. We are so excited for the 54th annual greasing of the poles this morning. The best. 66 to 68 as our 4 contestants are up there on Bourbon Street competing. So excited to return and see who takes the crown this year. So Kenny and I will be out there live with you at 11. Our Friday parades to follow look fantastic as well. We'll continue with Hermes in the 70s and then Daytona in the upper 60s and 100% chance of satire. Always a favorite of mine. Love to see those floats come down the street. Groove Celine throwing you your purses that you might have missed on Wednesday night, and then Morpheus, that one usually rolls into the midnight 1 a.m. time frame, so it's going to be chillier than those mid-60s by the time everything wraps up. Here's the Mardi Gras weekend broken down. Saturday, low rain chances. Endymion looks great. Sunday, Of course, that's when we're going to be watching closely for some possible cells to move through. In the 8 p.m. and beyond time frame, all of it out of here before festivities on Lundi Gras when Zulu and Rex meet. Temperatures at that point in the 60s, and then Mardi Gras Day looks chef's kiss. Beautiful for our Mardi Gras Indians as we continue to see those upper 50s across the area. So here's the futurecast. We have that cloud cover pretty much locked in all weekend. No rain chances today, a very select few tomorrow, and then Sunday morning we'll have a few scattered showers for the beginning of the route of not only Mid-City but then Toth. But otherwise, primarily off towards the east, I think most spots will stay pretty dry. Then we roll into the 3, 4, 5 o'clock time frame as Bacchus kicks off around 5:30 with no issues. It's really not until later in the evening, 9 o'clock or so, that we really start to see the concern for some of these storms and gusty winds to move in. So at least the time frame is a little bit later, and we're going to hope it continues to push back into that overnight period on Monday and then out of here before any impacts on Lundi Gras. So again, Endymion looking good. We'll go with cloudy and 75 on the Mid-City route. Bacchus showcasing instead those upper 60s and scattered showers, which means it's a little chilly out there. And then Monday's parades can't beat either. Upper 50s as we have Proteus, Orpheus, and Centurions rolling. Here's that 7-day. Of course, after all the festivity, you might not be spending Valentine's Day date night out and about, maybe in, but we'll continue with that nice trend of those 70s becoming 60s into next week. A little bit of a backup on Causeway northbound as you head towards Mandeville, Madisonville, and Covington. So not too much of an added stress, but maybe an extra minute or 3. Good evening. You're taking a live look at Hurricane Ida. This is now a Category 1 moving over Cuba, but really not losing a whole lot of its strength. And to see it not weakening in intensity over land is a sign of what you can expect once this is in a favorable environment for strengthening here shortly. We'll take you to the latest track information. The wind speeds now up to 80 miles an hour, moving northwest at 15, and we continue to watch the pressure drop. When the pressure drops, this means the storm is becoming stronger. So as we take you out of Cuba and into the Gulf of Mexico, here's the overall track information, looking to become a Category 3 by tomorrow afternoon with 120 mile per hour winds, then the 4 as we approach Sunday. Right now, landfall is looking to be at 140 miles an hour in Terrebonne Parish. So you need to make sure that your preparations are complete as soon as possible. It's going to be better to have them completed today as opposed to tomorrow. The hurricane warnings are in effect for the entire Louisiana coastline, watches to the east and to the west, and the storm surge numbers have gone up between 10 feet and 15 feet in many spots. So we've got a storm surge warning across the entire coast. You can expect 4 to 7 feet of surge in Lake Pontchartrain, as well as Lake Catherine and Lake Maurepas. We continue to see lower numbers, of course, to the west and to the east. Let me take you through some of these expected wind gusts as we approach landfall Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. Homa is going to be the spot to watch for these highest gusts, around 97 to 103 mile per hour gust as this is moving inland on shore. New Orleans proper expecting about 65, and then of course as we come further east and west, those numbers are going to go down, but certainly you need to make sure the shutters are closed. I would absolutely board up windows if this is possible, and we'll continue to see those gusts more than likely increasing as the storm continues to gain its strength over the next few hours with the upcoming additional updates. Rainfall amounts could be between about 10 and 15 inches in many spots. Look over here toward Gramercy, Ponchatoula. For this reason, the localized flood threat is also a concern. So a lot of people messaging me about where to evacuate. I would avoid all the areas that are shaded in red. You're going to be best off if you head east of Pensacola or west of Lake Charles, more than likely. We have more information on this on WGNO.com. As you're completing these preparations, let's take a look at our current conditions outside. We've got rain on both sides of the lake, heavy downpours near Homa and Chauvin. This is the area that needs to be bracing for the eye wall to move inland. So you need to make sure that all of your preparations are completed as soon as possible. The flash flood watch is in effect until 10 o'clock tonight, and you can see there's more rain where this is coming from. So we're dealing with that not only tonight, but then also into tomorrow. Look at some of these heavier downpours. That's not good news for saturating the ground, and then the wind field allowing trees also to topple. So for this reason, I
would recommend leaving if you are even under a voluntary evacuation. It's not going to be pleasant to have the heat alongside no power for 6 to 10 days at a time. Hour by hour shows you we're going to continue to see the scattered thunderstorms all night tonight, and the 7-day forecast, of course, is going to include a ton of rain as this is moving onshore with lower temperatures. As far as the weather for cleanup, we'll continue to see more of a typical August to September-like pattern. Susie and Kurt.
All right. Thank you, Brooke.
Thank you, Brooke.
Proud of her.
So proud of you. Thanks for bringing it in for WGNO.
For 6 years, the American Cancer Society's Shuck Cancer Junior Executive Board has continued to make waves. Young professionals and community members have lined up to support the American Cancer Society's mission, improving the lives of people with cancer.
It would have been very stressful for us to have to get over there and then get back. So with the transportation, it was easy because we didn't have to be so stressed.
I've also seen those who haven't had the ability to pay for that transportation, the lodging, the doctor's appointments, and that added stress is something that no one should have to worry about.
Helping people with transportation and lodging and, all the things you might not think about when you have the stress of cancer on your mind. Financially, this helps them out and not have to stress about it. You're not thinking about how will I afford my treatment.
Your ability to get to and from treatment is a resource of the American Cancer Society.
With the help of our annual Shucker honorees, this group raises funds and awareness for the organization's mission, directly impacting local patient support and access to care.
I was absolutely blown away. The amount of money that's being raised to help individuals fighting cancer. I was really moved by the event, and when I was asked to serve this year, I was excited to do so.
I couldn't think of anything more important than to give back in some way to help others get something we all deserve, which is access to care.
To me, it's important as a business to support great events like Shuck Cancer, to leave a positive impact in the community.
Funds raised annually through Shuck Cancer support health systems across the state to fund transportation and lodging grants. Since 2018, Shuck Cancer has raised over $1 million for the Patient Transportation and Lodging Grant Program, providing 80,000 one-way rides and impacting patients across the state to eliminate access to care barriers.
Shuck Cancer, I believe, has benefited the local community in providing access to care, which is very important in the fight against cancer.
And it's a way to give back, especially around the holidays, while also celebrating with those in the community who've also joined in on the efforts.
It is remarkable to see not only young professionals in our local community get involved with such a great cause, but to see it now expand in cities across the country as well.
Whatever your donation is, it's life-changing, and it simply put, I would say to any sponsor that definitely this is an event that you want to give to.
Everyone has his or her own story, so I highly recommend anyone that has been affected by cancer to donate and give because it has a real impact on people's lives.
It has also rallied people, young professionals like myself and my staff, and those of others, to get involved in something that is great, like fighting cancer.
There is still so much work to be done, and we urge you to join the American Cancer Society in fulfilling our vision to end cancer as we know it for everyone.
I'd like to tell the donors and persons who have not become donors, become a donor immediately.